Running a business in downtown Little Falls was pretty much the domain of men in the first half of the 20th century. Oh, women worked, but you were more likely to find them as secretaries or clerks in a clothing store. A few women made their mark in business. For example, Clara Richardson began a very successful dress shop as early as 1883. But it took strong women to try to compete against men. Mary and Eugenia Sand, natives of Luxembourg, began with a traditional woman's business, opening a millinery shop in 1903. Their younger sister, Josephine, later joined them, but not until she had attended the Little Falls Business College. Then in 1915, after Mary's death, the two sisters decided to open a restaurant. It was competitive. In 1892, there were only 5 restaurants in town. By 1928, there were 17. But the sisters beat the odds, and by 1926 were so successful that they looked for new quarters, finally investing in a building of their own. This exceptionally well-suited building for restaurant and confectionery purposes, as the newspaper called it, included a private dining room for banquets. 2 rows of booths occupied the north side of the main restaurant, and a single row was along the south wall. The Sands considered, as they told the newspaper, the location is unusually good, and especially to attract tourist trade, since it is on the right side of the street to tourists coming into the city from the south. And what a success it was! Years later, Josephine remembered that their biggest day ever was July 4th, 1930, when the cafe served nearly 1,800 customers. Thousands of people flocked downtown that day to watch the buggy parade. A local reporter described the event. A charming display of little girls, doll buggies, and dolls was one of the outstanding features of Little Falls' varied program for the 4th. Blossoming out in all sorts of costumes, some unique, some gorgeous, this parade scored one of the biggest hits of the day. Eugenia died in 1936, leaving Josephine to run the restaurant by herself until she sold it in 1945.